Prospector is my favorite survivor to play in the entire game, and this has remained the case for over 4 years now. He's always been the most fun survivor for me to play, bar none. I've never switched mains once in my entire time playing this game. It's always been Prospector since the day I started. Or well, since the day I started taking the game seriously, that is. And today, I will be indulging as to why that is the case. Now, a major part as to why I enjoy Prospector so much is that he's useful in almost every situation. What do I mean by this? Well, let's take a look at Magician. He's a great kiter, but that's about all he is. He offers next to nothing in terms of support, so he'd be a specialist, someone who excels at one thing and does it really well. Same is true for decoders who excel at decoding but aren't good at kiting or harassing, and rescuers too. They can rescue really well and kite well, but don't decode very fast. Now, all of the aforementioned character types are specialists, with little room to contribute much outside of their niche. And most of the characters in the game fit into these niches and can't provide much outside of the niche they're given. Now, Prospector is the exception to this. He has average decoding, can support really well, harass decently, and can rescue decently well. He's a jack of all trades who excels in certain categories, which is why I love him so much. He's a generalist who can be useful in almost every situation. As Prospector, if I'm needed to decode, I can decode without any decoding debuffs getting in the way. I can support my teammates if needed, and I can harass if any of my teammates get down. And I can kite well if the hunter decides to chase me. And it's not like he's weak in any of these categories either. His support is incredible if executed correctly. His harassment, while probably the weakest part of his kit, can still be good under the right circumstances. And his kiting is also really strong. And with no decoding debuffs, he can decode just fine. This is the main reason I love playing Prospector. The ability to harass and support is awesome, and makes the game so much more fun to play, for me at least. It's the main reason I could never main anyone else, excluding other harassers who I tried to main, but their decoding felt too slow. Other characters who I tried to main, like Painter and Magician, are fun, yes, but their lack of ability to support makes them incredibly boring to me. Being in a situation where someone kites on me, or dies near me, and being unable to support at all feels incredibly boring. Being unable to provide anything but good kiting, or good decoding, or good rescues, just isn't fun for me. Being unable to provide anything but good kiting, or if I'm playing a decoder, good decoding, or if I'm playing a rescuer, good rescuing, just feels boring to me. I need the ability to harass and support to have fun. Like in this example here. I was able to help Coordinator get a no damage rescue and prevented Toy Merchant from getting farmed, which I wouldn't have been able to do as most anyone else. And then here, I was able to free Toy Merchant from balloons and secure her a chance to rebound. This wouldn't be possible at all as most anyone else. Being unable to support is too crippling for me. Another reason I love Prospector is the risk involved. With most other survivors, the only thing you're at risk of when messing up is getting hit and failing to use your ability properly. As Prospector, though, there's more than just the risk of getting hit when messing up. You could end up canceling attack recovery on yourself, on your teammates, misplacing a magnet, and it somehow ends up on your teammate, and you somehow get them killed with said magnet. As Prospector, there's always a lot of risk involved with his ability, and that adds a lot to my enjoyment of him. Knowing that any slight error could drastically change the game for the worse and ruin everything makes the moments where I succeed flawlessly all the more satisfying. Evading critical errors and executing everything flawlessly feels awesome when there's a lot of risk involved. I don't really get this kind of enjoyment with other characters. Sure, the other harassers have the same risks, but I don't use them because their decoding feels too slow, and I simply don't enjoy using their abilities as much. But everyone else, barring a few exceptions, have abilities where critical errors punish you with a hit, but you don't get punished with any more repercussions. You aren't punished nearly as severely as Prospector, or any of the other harassers for making a mistake, which makes them feel a lot less rewarding to use for me personally. For example, in this clip I was attempting to coordinate with the lawyer to provide him support along his kite, but I end up stunning too late, which resulted in not only him dying, but attack recovery being cancelled and putting myself in a horrible position. Or here, where I underestimate the speed at which Goatman can go back to his cage, and end up canceling attack recovery, which results in me panicking and dying insanely fast. This level of risk just makes him feel very rewarding and fun to use. This is a major part of why I love him, and part of why I prefer him over the other harassers. Having infinite magnets makes it so no matter what happens, no matter how many times I use my magnets to defend myself, I'll always have more for later encounters with the hunter. This is especially useful whenever we get 3-ciphered and are forced to slog things out. Usually, as other harassers, I'll run out of items eventually, and won't be able to defend myself, or help others. But as Prospector, I'll almost always have at least one magnet to defend myself, no matter how many I use, which makes them so much more fun for me, personally. And yes, I know Enchantress exists, and is technically a harasser with infinite items, but her skill is pretty brain dead to use, and she's just boring. And not to mention Prospector's incredible drip. Now his wardrobe is pretty expansive, and has a lot of good skins, but nothing comes close to Magic Item Keeper. The best B tier? No. The best skin in the entire game, bar none. Absolutely wonderful skin. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.